Hello, everybody. This is Living Word of Darkness, a cross venue scene between the werewolf and the changeling venues. Today, our scene will begin in weirdly in the Umbra. Now, Donna, being the squire of Maven, she is. She was told to be at a place um, with her ceremonial clothing and ready to have a long journey, and only to, especially by Maven, she was told to bring the only Rowlet. When she arrives, she sees two horses, one black and one white, and Maven, who's wearing her again ceremonial armor, and a Gwydian knight who serves to Queen Mab, named Sir Derator. Um, they enter this weird secret trod.
Donna takes all kinds of notes in her head where it is.
The You move through the dreaming, and then you find yourself in a place that you have never seen before. There's huge webs. Actually, I will ask a maid to make a maybe a description on the umbral side of New York, maybe.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's the first time Donna's ever seen it. So, as they're traveling through the dreaming, you come to a place that seems strangely familiar. Landmarks seem strangely familiar, but all of them are off. Um, it's the city as though taken over by spiders. You see buildings that you recognize, maybe intimately, depending on how long you've been in New York, but they're covered in webbing. The people are gone. Not all the buildings are the same. There's strange differences, and there's the chimera seems strangely meaty, and maybe not more down to earth than you're used to. Um, you're not even sure that chimera is the right word for them anymore. For a lot of them, though there are the chimera like you're used to, but um, it's just subtly different in a lot of ways.
You are also, I think, as far as I know, May her Feymine takes over, and her like human body is not seen here anymore, right?
Correct, just like when you're wandering around in the dreaming.
Okay. So nothing different because you were already in the dreaming, but in this place, it's also your Feymine is also here. Uh, the
Yeah,
Derators. Go on, go on.
sorry. I thought you guys were done. I can wait if you want.
Go on, go on. Say what you want to say.
No, she was just going to kind of lean into Maven and just be like, just whisper, "Where are we?"
Maven will just be like Battery Park. If you're going to the Riverside Park. Derator, this knight who has pink eyes, looks and says, I know the way. My friend is waiting for me. And for us. So let's not be late. And he like does with his horse and starts to go a bit faster than normal. Um, Donna, those whips are weird. and it makes you feel uncomfortable for some reason when you get close, when the horses get close to them.
Probably
But
subconsciously leans away.
in the end, they arrive at this park. So now let's have our Garu players.
So, Garu players, you have rumors have been going around for the last several days that there were going to be fairies, especially those of you who are close to Toby. Have heard him talking about it with some excitement. That there would be fairies, changelings coming to the Sept for something special. And you've been given a time and a place to meet on Sept, and after Mother Larissa's howl, which she made in wolf form, the little delegation of Garu sets off to Riverside Park to be waiting for the changelings there.
For those characters who've never seen she before, the individuals who are coming is there is this she whose skin is a bit dark. His ears is very long. His armor is it looks like made from finest steel. There was like this falcon on his chest as a symbol, and there is a green cloak. Now, in the other hand, there's this woman whose appearance 5. Same with the dude. Um, they look very elvish from all those movies. The woman is wearing a silver armor, and there was like this silver moon symbol on her chest, and she is riding a white horse. And behind her, there is Christy. Go ahead.
A very, very small blonde girl. She has the short flaw, so she is literally just super short. And she has these big, big owl eyes. Her hair seems kind of feathery. And yeah, if we're supposed to be wearing armor type things, she can wear the queen's armor. I don't know what that symbol is, but she's wearing some very nice looking armor sort of thing over her skirt, actually, oddly enough, which has a ton of pockets. And it has a symbol on it, which I don't know if it's ever been decided what it is, but there is a symbol on it that you probably don't recognize.
It's a lion with a crown.
There you go, a lion with a crown. And yeah, she's sitting on there like her hands, so she has to hold on to Maven to stay on the a second on a horse. But on her shoulder is a Pokemon. A Pokemon called a Rowlet, if anyone knows what that is. And it is wearing a top hat.
The male knight or the male elf will get down from his horse, and then he actually will help Donna to get down, and then he will help Maven. Then he will hold the horse's the thing that like keeps the horse, like the thing that he was using to ride it. Same with Maven, and they will slowly enter to this park. And Maven will tell Donna to stay near me.
Yeah, she knows how to handle this. She'll walk basically to her left, because I'm assuming that the guard will be to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll be to the left and just maybe a half a step behind. I did forget to mention she has a very clear, like, looks like a prosthetic arm going on. I forgot that she had that. It's a very steampunk looking leather and gears and stuff.
So what this delegation sees.
Well, the Garu have gathered. Mother Larissa is plunked down her shopping carts around, kind of hanging out behind her as like the back of her throne. She's seated on a bucket from the cart. Looks comfy. Toby has taken up position on one side of her, looking rather like an ambassador. Jacob can be standing wherever he pleases, and Milo's probably been asked to stand over on one side of Toby.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to describe what Mother Larissa is not in Krenos. I'm going to say that Toby will just be in Hamid as well. But if Milo wants to be in Krenos, Toby would think that was swell.
You know what? Yeah, because one of us has to be, like, in the dick swinging form.
Mm-hmm.
So, might as well be the Geta Fenris.
Always.
So,
Thank you, sir.
It's big but not huge size merit. He definitely is stacked. He looks strong. He looks beefy. He's tall, like white with gray patches. I believe they're described as in the book. So having gray in their fur. He's tall. I think it gets close to 9 feet. They say. Yeah, he doesn't look particularly menacing, but it's hard not to look at least a little menacing in the Krynos form.
The woman looked at the Krynos form for like 3 seconds. The male acts like it doesn't exist. Their head is high.
So is Dona's, but not for the same reason. Her head is high because she has to look up to see everybody's faces.
Milo's head is high because he's 9 feet tall right now.
Yeah, and she's 4'8". So she totally is just looking ahead normally, then all of a sudden slow lift of head to get to the top, of that 9-foot frame. And she does look a bit intimidated. I mean, why wouldn't she? But she just kind of looks away and actually kind of pays some attention to Mother Larissa, who she doesn't know the name of, but she recognizes that face, unless her face has changed.
Nope, it's the same. Where's Jacob and which form is he in? Describe Jacob.
Jacob's just going to be fairly casually dressed, if only because he knows he can get away with it, because it's not like Mother Larissa's going to be coming in a suit. So he's dressed largely as he normally is. He does have his clave holstered off to his side, and a Glock holstered to his other. But other than that, is looking pretty relaxed.
The way these two moves, I'm not talking about the puka. The puka, like when the puka like gets down from the horse, it's like it's just normal human getting down from the horse. But like when the two elves get down from the horse, it's like, man, do they shit grace? Like there's
Answer,
so much.
no, they don't.
Shush you. But Basically, they're so graceful. There's something about them, all about like there's just like noble bearing. One of them is like looks like a his beauty is alienated, while the woman looks earthly beautiful. Uh, the two of them stands out, and their weapons are peace tied. They approach the the sir the male elf bows, and the woman elf does a curtsy towards Mother Larissa when they come into a close distance. And Maven also like looks at Donna before.
Oh, she knew to follow cues. As soon as they did, she did. Like, that split second after. She knows.
The everyone would actually see after the bow is done. The 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 male actually nods at the Fianna known as Toby.
Toby also bows. When they approach, he bows, and when he straightens up, he has Mother Larissa on his arm. Like he bows and she stands and uses him as a to lever herself to her feet. He
The
nods back.
sorry, were you gonna say something more?
Just that Toby returns the nod and offers a broad grin. Mother Larissa nods to both of them and kind of leans sideways slightly to peer at Donna, and then she grins at her. Just briefly.
Yeah, Donna grins back. She's not going to say anything because she knows that she doesn't rank anything here.
The male she slash elf starts to speak. I am Sir Derator of the Gilneas dynasty, member of the House of Falcon, also known as House Lwyd. I am honored to bring an invitation from Queen Mab of Fiona, the House of Silver Lion, to the Mother Larissa, the respected leader of the shifters in the Central Park. Many times, the noble shifters of Central Park have come to our aid. We wish to invite you to our people's biggest celebration in the 1,000 years, which will include tourneys and games. 50 years ago, our people's divine rulers turned back from our homeland to bring peace and prosperity among the exiles here. The woman, after the man's words are done, the woman starts to speak. I am Dame Maven Axelrod of House of Secrets, also known as House Ilunid, serving to the Countess of New Hope, also known as New York. The person you see beside me, as her hand gestures Donna, is Squire Theodosius Shishik with no house. Long ago, shifters and our people fought together side by side, claimed glory and wrote stories that bards still sings even today in the most banal parts of the world. We remember the glory of Fangs of Justice from the Northern Europe when he aided our people in their fights against the beast of Odin. We remember the love of the laughs of joy, who passed the tits of Donna herself for her fairy lover. And lastly, we remember the protection of the Rusted Claw, who protected our own people when we were unable to. But the most importantly, we remember the shifters of Central Park as our friends and allies. We died together in the past. Now we invite you to revel in our most joyous day.
Oh, that's lovely. What a nice invitation. Thank you both. We would love to come.
The knight smiles and nods. It would be honored to have you there, honored shifter.
Mother Larissa's eyes are kind of twinkling. She has a look on her face that has previously preceded farting. And
Oh, God. I'm out.
Is it as pictured?
yeah.
Did she fart again?
No, not yet.
Not,
Not
yet.
yet. But she glances at the other three Garu and smiles and says, I may not be able to make it. That might not be appropriate. But I'm sure we'll send some of our spry young things over to join in the dance.
We have a brawl, a melee tournament, jousting, drinking tournament, many celebrations and games.
Jacob perks up at melee tournament.
Mother Larissa notices. She notices the perk, and her head turns slightly. She fixes Jacob with a grin.
Jacob now wishes he didn't perk at the notion of melee tournament.
It's a fond grin. She's glad you're excited.
Yay!
Milo flexes a little at the brawl tournament. That's okay.
Donna doesn't react to the list. She already knew it.
And finally, the knight actually looks at Toby and says, It's been a long time, Turlock. I'm happy to see you again.
Too long. The pleasure is mine, he says, and he doesn't quite bow, but he kind of bends forward slightly in a little more than a nod. When he stands back up, he's grinning. But he also turns to the other she and makes the same gesture so that even though the friendship is between himself and the gentleman of House Gwydion. Is he the Gwydion one? No, the other one's Gwydion, right?
The Gwydion is the male, and the woman is the Eiluned.
Got it. Okay. So even though the friendship is with the gentleman from House Gwydion, he also kind of graciously includes Donna and the woman from House Eiluned as well, just with a gesture.
The woman smiles back immediately with the graciousness of, like, my graciousness is more than your graciousness type of smile. Because, like, I'm a she, my graciousness is more than your graciousness, honey, type of smile. But, like, it's not like it's like nice, but it's also like, very nice type of thing.
I'm so polite, but I have come full circle and I'm now rude. Suck it.
I'm so polite, I'm rude. I mean,
that's exactly right. How does Jacob feel about this particular display?
He has had to deal with this so many times from people within and without his tribe that he is just completely unfazed. He's just like, oh yeah, I see you guys have to deal with this well, sort of like, oh.
Yeah.
And Milo? What's his response to all this?
Milo is no stranger to etiquette. While he doesn't know the finer details, he still sees that he's a little out of his depth, and his response is to stand there and look to represent our Warform. We're all good.
Stand and look terrifying. You're doing great, Milo. How does Donna take this little interaction?
Oh, she's used to the she being very she. None of this shocks her. But her response to the whole, which obviously she's expecting to be overshadowed because look at all this beauty over here and then there's me. But she is actually like when he turns to take her into this this greeting, her response is a kind of an impish grin, a very genuine impish kind of grin. But she doesn't actually say anything because, again, she knows she's still just she's waiting till the inappropriate time for herself to speak. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. When she grins at Toby, he meets her eye and returns the grin in kind.
At that point, Rowlet lifts his hat to him.
Okay, fair enough. Toby and Donna share a moment.
Rowlet! The Rowlet says, like, takes the hat, bows and says, Rowlet, and then puts the hat back.
Yeah, every time she's curtsied or anything, Rowlet has bowed and lifted and taken his hat, lift his little top hat.
Mm-hmm.
She's trained him to do that. He just automatically does it. And you have to don't know well, but since nobody else is really speaking and whatever, she'll just be like, "And this is Rowlet," as she looks to everybody else because obviously she wasn't going to introduce her pet or what appears to be her pet.
Mm-hmm.
The greeting kind of like turns and looks and doesn't say anything, but then he says, "My friend." As if he said, it's been a long time. Maybe we can leave the squire here, and you and I, along with Maven and maybe Mother Larissa, can talk. In private, of course.
Mother Larissa leans down and picks up her bucket and hands it to Toby. He takes it obediently and tucks it into the shopping cart for her. Says, "Yes, there are things to talk about. Excellent. Be good, gentlemen." She looks at Milo and Jacob.
Maven turns to Donna and says, "Well, I'm sure we can take care of the horses and wait for us until we return and represent us in the best way you can."
Of course, that sounds like the worst plan ever. As she reaches to take the reins of the horses.
She is given the reins of the horses, and are they leaving MA now?
Sure, yeah, they'll step sideways. Not sideways out of the Umbra, but they'll go a little ways off to discuss and make arrangements and any agreements that need to be made.
Donna will attempt to meet Mama Elle's eyes just one quick glance. She's not going to say anything. Just kind of attempt to catch her eyes as they're walking away.
Oh yeah, she grins back. She's not too good to smile at a Puka.
Yep.
Who's been well behaved.
Well, last time they kept asking her questions.
That's fair. She doesn't this time. She heads off. I'll be right back. Sorry, 1 second.
It's fine. So yeah, Donna will take the reins of the horses and find a tree that is a fair distance away from the very large creature that's over there.
Ooh.
And put them around, tie the reins onto a tree.
There is a bag near them where you can feed them apples.
Oh yeah, she'll make sure they get something to eat because she's not going to just let them like she's going to stay nearby. She just doesn't want them running off. But she'll definitely give them each an apple and kind of look over these people over here. Although she'll definitely sort of wave to Jacob a little bit because she knows him. She's met him.
There's a wave. So he waves back at you. Oh, I'm very quiet. Yeah, no, yeah, he waves back at you. Sorry, I was very far away from my mic.
Fancy meeting you here.
I mean, that's what happened the first time.
This is Central Park?
Yes.
She squints at him.
What?
I don't think this is Central Park.
He just kind of nods slowly. And you're entitled to think that, I guess.
Oh, see, I thought they had actually gone to meet at like what Riverside Park or something.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the side chat. We're not.
Oh shit, we're not in Central Park. Oh, in which case, fair enough.
She thought you were trying to puka her.
Sure, let's say that. Yes.
She just kind of pats his lower arm because short, and she'll just be like, okay then. So, would you like to introduce me to your friend?
I don't know, never met him before.
Well, that makes life difficult, doesn't it?
He says in a high tongue, which comes across as a series of barks and
Barking.
snarls and what have you. He says to Jacob, "Don't give it my name. They do things with names."
He'll say in the high tongue bag, okay, what do you want me to call you?
He thinks about this for a second. He didn't have a plan.
Nice to meet you, by the way. Jacob Clay, Adrian, Ahmed, Philodox, Silverfang.
Milo, Crowcatcher, Cleof, Skull to the Great Fenris.
And yeah, Donna can hear all of his back and forth, his snarling, growling, and barking, which
Yeah,
goes on for about a good half minute.
Which is
Yeah.
dope in Ahmed.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
actually speak the high tongue and Hamid, I don't think.
Oh, you can't?
I think Krinos and Hispo. I'm checking. Checking right now.
'Cause
Obviously, you can understand
I
it,
will
but
shift all the way.
you'll shift for this conversation.
You could
Do it!
partial shift to have like the most swole neck.
Oh God.
I mean,
Oh,
you know
no.
what? Donna thinks, my opinion, and Donna's go for it. She'd love to see all the forms that come between Hamid and Grinos.
That's not how that works either.
So, you can turn into a bird, but what if you could turn into a people bird?
With a gigantic beak.
Yeah. Isn't being a Corax fun? They think it is.
Donna would approve of it.
Oh my gosh.
High tongue. Let me see if I can find it as well.
Sorry, I complicated the scene.
Nah, it's fine.
You're okay. A Krinos werewolf can speak the Garu tongue. The Hispo can speak a few words in the Garu tongue. The Lupus can speak a garbled form of the Garu tongue, but it does not say for either Hamid or Glabro that it can speak the Garu tongue. So
That I guess either you're shifting or some of that conversation didn't happen. Or you said it in English.
Here we go.
find out.
What is it to shift again?
Sorry, stamina primal urge.
Oh, I'm bad at those. I'm actually okay. I think I got like 6 dice.
Okay, Adrian. You should be okay at shifting by now.
Okay, yeah, you see Jacob shift up into a massive, an absolutely massive, like 9-foot tall white wolf man as he begins conversing with his buddy.
Yeah, her eyes get really big, and she kind of feels really, really unwanted. This feels really rude, just for the record, as if that's the biggest problem here. And she just takes a couple steps back to put herself between the horses and them.
After the conversation we've already talked about, he finally decides if he should give her my name, she could call me Crowcatcher.
Cool. Will do. As Jacob reflexively shifts back to Hamid. So it's almost like poofing back to Hamid. Yeah, he's Crowcatcher. Sorry about that.
You couldn't have explained what was going on before you did that?
How to put it? Basically, limited vocal range, need a bigger throat to talk.
So if you can change back, why can't he?
I think he can.
Wouldn't that be easier to have a conversation?
I think he's security.
Do I look like I need something like him to keep me under control? As she, puts her hands on her hips and just kind of looks up at him. And then up even more at this 9-foot tall Krenos.
Robbie, your mic's not coming through for a second. Try saying something. Keep trying. We can almost hear you. There we go.
You're quiet, but you're there.
Oh, okay, just give it a second. If I stream of consciousness think and speak, it'll eventually go to full-on good mode for talkie-talkie any second now. Damn it.
We still hear you, just quietly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in the high tongue, when she says, "Why doesn't he change back?" In the high tongue, he says something along the lines of, "Because I don't want to." But only Jacob hears it.
Well, I hear it. I just don't get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She just kind of blinks as she hears more growly things coming from him.
Yeah.
Is there a problem here?
Not really, no. Is there an issue? I mean, he's just standing on station.
He's not supposed to speak, then I suppose not. Except that he keeps talking to you and not me.
Yeah, no, I can't really talk back.
It's alright, I can hear you.
Well, how about this? And she starts babbling on in Polish. Just
Cool.
talking it up, talking it up, talk. And the bird understands her. He seems to be listening quite avidly.
Rowlet.
Cool. I get a single success on Speech of the World.
She's literally doing nothing but like describing the woods around her, trying to make it look as important as possible.
He'll say back in Polish, yes, they are quite impressive.
Where are you rolling, Chris?
I'm rolling in both dice roller.
Oh, will you move to extra dice roller 1?
Ah, my bad. Sorry.
No worries.
I'm back. We're back. Yeah, I'll move. I moved now. It's fine. Do you want me to reroll?
I'm fine with it if you guys are.
No, yeah, you're
Okay.
fine.
She just blinks at him.
It should be noted he has despite the fact that he can speak and understand it fluently, he still comes across as clearly not Polish. He would, I guess you could basically he has a very obvious New York accent in his speech. One of the limitations of a gift.
Yeah. She'll just be like, you must come from the weirdest part of Poland ever.
There's a joke in there somewhere, but I can't find it.
I mean, I do like a good joke.
Yeah, I'm really trying. I'm really reaching with this one, but I can't find anything. It's really annoying.
So as relations begin to devolve among the people left behind, it probably doesn't take very long to sort out things between the various high muckety mucks who went off and left the horses and the peons behind. Mother Larissa, when the conversation is done, will give a nice little bob of a bow to both of the she. It's polite. She's not good at it. Bowing is not particularly a skill that she's worked on ever in her life, but she understands the basics and is willing to play along sometimes. And then she and her shopping cart go wandering back off, and Toby and probably the other two, or possibly just the Gwydion, return to the little gathering.
Maven would have returned as well.
Mhm.
Her, she wishes to be near her squire.
Mhm.
The knight is very happy, and they come back smiling. They're again very beautiful. Just want to point this out because they're she. That's all.
Because beauty is important. She'll kind of she'll look over to watch them as they move closer.
Toby goes straight to her since he doesn't know her, and offers a hand.
Like to shake?
Mhm.
She wasn't sure if it was going to be one of those kiss hand things. That happens a lot at court.
He will take her social cues. Like he'll offer the hand, and depending on how she takes it, if she takes it for a shake, you know what I mean? There's different ways to
That's
take
fine.
someone's hand.
She's totally game to just shake his hand. It's fine. She's a commoner, kind of.
And
she'll shake his hand. Yeah.
Afraid I had no chance to introduce myself. I'm Toby. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Donna. Or
I've seen you in the tourney.
And she looks at Jacob or Taya. Take your choice.
Teodona? It's a
Well,
pleasure.
not both together. Both together's a little weird. But yes, I am going to be in the tournament.
He grins and steps back to stand next to Jacob and Milo to kind of include the others in the conversation as well.
Our best
you-
warriors will be in the melee tournament. The male she says, coming from all over the world.
Truly, it will be a joy to see you fight. I'm not sure we can spare our best warriors, but the Sept of the Green will send the best that we can, depending on our own situation. Our borders are fragile, as I'm sure you understand.
I understand. I'm sure wherever you are has the best warriors, but I won't be competing as well. I will have duties to be with you and your people to make sure nothing bad happens, along with Dame Maven. And Dame nods again very nicely, politely.
Toby glances at Milo and Jacob to make sure that they have noticed that this man is um, their ambassador if anything should go wrong. Do they meet his eye? Acknowledge the look?
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Jacobo.
And I will absolutely be accompanying those of my people who join you.
Well,
If
you were
any
missed at
problems
Tarnar
arise.
after all.
Sorry, what did he say?
Or you were missed at Tarnar.
I would like to think so, but I would not flatter myself so much.
The Dame Maven actually just asked, "Oh, you have been before there."
He nods towards Donna and says, much as she comes now, as a junior member of a delegation.
The Dame nods.
That's crazy. I am the most important person here. Aren't I, Dame Maven? Yeah, she just grins at Dame Maven.
Maven is like, yes. And Derator just says, Squire Donna, or just one of the people who likes to make jokes, to light the mood.
Of course, I understand.
Strangely, I think I'm very good at it, but not everybody agrees.
Don't worry, I do.
Wars started for less.
Words have started for less than my jokes?
Disagreeing. That was a joke, but I think it didn't have the. See, she is a better joker than I am.
She nods. She'll just be like, "It's okay. I'll give you some lessons. You'll get much better."
And yet it is an important point to keep in mind as we stand my people before your people, that even a joke can go horribly wrong.
Every precaution will be taken by myself. I will not let your people be let them receive rude manners by anyone. As he like kind of looks at Donna, as in like, I hope you understand what I mean.
She doesn't even look like she was contemplating it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Dame Maven says, I have the utmost belief in our people that they will be welcoming, and they will remember what the shifters of the Central Park has done for us in the past.
Likewise. Perhaps it will benefit both our people if we were to host a chance to get together beforehand to tell tales of those times. They're not necessarily well known among my people.
I would be interested in hearing more stories. I don't honestly know much about it. And she looks confused by this fact. Because she usually knows things like this. But she doesn't in this case.
If such organization is held, I would be glad to tell stories and invite storytellers.
Toby glances at Milo, gives him a grin.
His ears are perked a little more.
I can't hear you.
Robbie said he's perked a little more.
Ah, okay.
You are super quiet. Did your mic get muffled somehow?
Okay. Maybe Robbie, you were using the XSplit microphone. Maybe that's why it's like a bit weird.
Oh.
But no, okay. They Maven actually adds there are a lot of love stories as well. The love is very appreciated among my people.
Toby's grin turns toothy, and he says, "Perhaps we'll keep the love stories to a minimum in front of the judge." And his hand reaches out to squeeze Jacob's shoulder, kind of give him like a little shake, so that they know that he's talking about him.
Jacob looks reasonably amused. Good man. Good man. As yeah, he'll he's not really initially sure how to respond. He'll just say, I think that's fair.
But in most stories, if there's war or fighting, isn't there usually a love story in there to sort of leaven it out? Whether it's a good story or a bad story is another subject. Like,
Oh yeah, you're tempting me to play cynic here. He just says, "Oh yeah, you're tempting me to play the cynic there."
not all love stories end in fairy tale true love, right?
The noted silence.
Donna just looks puzzled. She doesn't understand why people are so uncomfortable with this.
So does like the changelings. They're like love is important to us, guys. Like, what's wrong?
Toby's just grinning with all his teeth.
We
Even the ones in the back of his mouth, they all move to the front.
Yes.
I think Toby and Jacob just teamed up to make the changelings uncomfortable.
Maven just says like to make sure there is no misunderstanding. True love is considered very important among us, many of us.
As beautiful as you are, I cannot imagine it could be otherwise. How you manage to go moment to moment without falling in love is a mystery to me, who is completely smitten by the sight of both of you.
I understand. I feel the same way. I don't know how I serve her so easily when she's so beautiful. And she looks at me.
Maven smiles, and her cheeks gets red. Um, the the Gwydion, the Falcon Knight, like Jacob, he has the symbol of a falcon on his chest. By the way, like
Ooh, yes. I like this man now.
he's like uh, he says, "We look beautiful, but at the same time, we have dignity. We carry the dignity of the beauty all the time."
And you must understand, of course, that I cannot allow this love of mine to betray my duty, nor can my brethren. We shall have to be on guard at every moment, and I hope you will not encourage such betrayal of our duty. We have many.
I'm sure all sides are in agreement in this. I think both of us both sides understand the importance of duty.
To both she nods.
Duty over love. As she definitely has an impish look in her eye. And so she sort of addresses that question to everybody.
Oh God, she's a ragabash.
Certainly among our people, says Toby. He starts to grow new teeth just so his smile can get toothier.
He's becoming too convincing. I'm now growing suspicious of this Fiona. In part because he's a Fiona, I'm not gonna lie.
Then like Milo barks, Maven just like gets like shaken. And
Yeah, Donna was like, yeah, they have this weird thing. I think he's talking.
um, the the Denethor puts a hand on Donna's shoulder and the Maven's shoulder. And then he says, duty is it's his own reward. In my eyes, and also to me, love is very important. I think to separate your life in one thing may cause problems. After slaying a beast that hurts my people, I go back to my wife, and her arms are where I find peace. I hope this explains how at least I see duty and love.
Donna looks a little envious.
Oh no, you're quite right. Quite right. I would definitely ascribe much value to both concepts, even if at times they appear to be in contrast to one another.
Life loves those contrasts. They create good stories. There's this like very side smirk at Maven when he says they create good stories.
Jacob's eyes all just follow the side eye.
The good stories are very important. I have heard our people, and my friend Denethor here told me your people lives through stories as well.
Very much so, although, and he just kind of looks. Do not believe any of them here are Galliards, to his knowledge.
Milo is.
Milo's? Milo's a Galliard. Oh, thank.
Yeah. No, can you hear me any
Huh.
better now?
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, he'll simply say, although only one of us is in such a position to tell them with the grandeur that they deserve. And he just kind of looks at the big bad wolf man.
Oh man,
Whoa,
my headset
there
was
you are.
unplugged. My headset
That-
was unplugged just long enough to not hear anything that you said, Chris. I'm sorry.
Welp.
Basically, he's trying to get you to tell a story.
No. Actually, no. That's not what Jacob was trying to do at all. Jacob was basically one of the she basically said he had that we tell good stories, and Jacob says very much so. Although only one of us is in a position to tell them with the degree of grandeur that they deserve.
Oh, man. Oh.
We shall have stories prepared for you, and I hope that you shall have them prepared for us in time for feasting.
Can I shift my vocal cords? Can I partial shift?
Let me look up the rules for partial shifting.
Isn't it like Diff 8 or something?
Yeah, it's something wild unless you have the gift.
Stamina, primal urge, spending of willpower, and but this is out of my mind, so you should check it. I'm sorry.
For something that is rarely done, yes.
Yeah.
Shape changing the 5 forms. So you have to spend willpower, roll dexterity primal urge, difficulty 9. Don't botch it, we're going to see things that fairies aren't going to find very aesthetically appealing.
I mean, we're already seeing Krinos at 0.
Oh, wait till you see a Krynos with a squashed nose.
Oof.
Oh man. Man. Yeah, I got 3.
Well done. Yeah, your tongue and vocal cords shift.
The Kronos' mouth moves in ways that are definitely frightening, as he, in very good English, slight tinge of a New York accent, says, and I'll have stories prepared for you.
Wow, that's easier to understand.
Thank you, honored storyteller.
Yeah, he puts etiquette into the bow. It's similar to Perlock's, sort of.
It would be a quite honor to listen to your stories, Maven says. This first one was the male she, and now the Maven says. It will be quite an honor to hear your stories.
I only wish that it were easier to tell. There are some stories that are made for only some ears.
My people have long ears. Some say we have the best ears.
Yeah, Donna's having to hide a smirk. Not gonna lie.
I understand that some secrets needs to be kept.
I mean, no disrespect.
None taken, my dear friend. I really want Milo to say, "I'm not your friend, pal," and then like that like momentum of like, "I'm not your pal, friend."
Well, maybe the next character. He's too nice. he, he nods with some sympathy.
Well, this was a very nice meeting. The woman says, "We should be off. We took a long road to come here."
Dame Maven,
Squire Donna.
may I just have a brief moment to with Jacob over here? Just a quick second. I need to ask him something. If you say no, I'll ask him later.
Well, if it's something that can wait, I'm surely it can wait.
Yes, Dame.
They turn to Toby and nod.
He bows
Dame, Dame actually, like, extends her hand, as in, like, yeah, kiss my hand type of
Yeah,
thing.
this time he goes to kiss it. Like, he steps forward quickly and takes it to kiss it with a graceful flourish. He is definitely no she.
The Denethor shakes a hand with tries to shake a hand with Jacob, and then he also extends a hand to Milo as well.
He is gentle as he takes this small hand between the knuckle of his index finger and his thumb. Shake it.
Does Jacob also handshakes with everyone?
Absolutely.
Donut
Does
too.
she does she kisses the hand of Dame Maven? Does he kisses the hand of Dame Maven?
Toby goes for the forearm clasp with the guy from Gwydion.
Yeah. After the goodbyes are said, they hop on their horses and they slowly leave.
Well, I thought that went well, says Toby as they ride out of earshot.
Surprised by how well that went. Granted, my standards for Goro diplomacy aren't particularly high, but considering we just got ourselves an invite to a Fey 20, I'd say things went about as well as they could have gone.
Toby grins. I'm sure we'll have plenty of opportunity to fuck it up.
Yep. Oh, yeah, we'll have no shortage of opportunities to fuck things up, don't worry.
Oh, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I figured. I was actually about to say you'd have a lot of fun.
Won't you? What better chance to cross swords with people to whom the sword matters?
It's true. I might be participating in several tourneys. We'll see.
He nods.
Might give the brawling contest a bit of a swing.
And of course,
Oh.
you'll represent us, Milo.
Of course. If it's bracket style. And I hope you won't go easy on me when we're both the last ones standing. He looks at Jacob.
You do not. This is Toby sounding absolutely mortified.
What?
He's trying to decide whether Milo's teasing him.
I'm definitely going into the brawl tournament, and if he is, we're going to wipe the competition clean. I want a good fight. If it's going to be the last one for the tournament.
He nods. Sorry, I thought you said, I hope you'll go easy on me.
No. He said no. The opposite of that. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry, I missed a word.
Sorry.
See you in the finals.
I'll hold out a brofist. Brandis brofist.
Jacob is cultured enough at this point to brofist you.
Toby starts heading back towards the sept.
Hey!
Glances back.
Let me know when you got time. I want to talk to you about something.
Sure. Absolutely. He gestures in case Milo just wants to go with him, but we'll make that a separate scene.
The two she and the puka gets onto horses. One thing Ghana realizes, Maven rides the horse slowly, and just when the Gwydion looks back, she says, "You go from the front. I'll be right back, and we'll talk with my squire about something." Denethor looks and, goes from the front. And then Maven says, when he is out of the reach of the ears, "Who are we representing here?"
You, I thought, Dave.
What did she say?
You, I thought, Dave.
"We are representing our county. Jokes and personal things are not welcomed when you represent something higher than you."
I just wanted to lighten things up a bit since the business part was over.
When you meet with people from different different baronies, different cultures, different prodigals, it's always business.
She nods.
And then she rides the horse a bit fastly. Should we end the scene there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. See you next time.